Hey everyone, it's Ethan or Miist back again for another video today, and welcome back to the channel, guys. We're here again for yet another video. Going to be talking about every movie and TV show that I watched last week, and overall it was a pretty solid week. And yeah, let's get right into it. Starting it off with the one and only season of TV that I watched this week, which was Stranger Things Season 1, which I was going to watch by myself, but I somehow managed to convince Mel to rewatch it because she was pretty set on not rewatching it. But now we're on the grind to finish it over the next 2.5 weeks ahead of season 5. So that's exciting. Hopefully we'll get there by then. But yeah, season 1, it's fantastic. It's one of my favorite seasons of TV. I love season 1. I don't know which season is my favorite of the seasons, so I'm really excited to rewatch it. And yeah, overall, this is probably the second. This is probably my second favorite thing that I watched this week. So, shout out Stranger Things. Preach. Alright, let's move on to the movies of the week. And we got quite a few to talk about this week. Not as bad, or not as many as some of the previous weeks. I've only got 15 to talk about, but still, let's get into it. Starting it off with Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, which is my least favorite watch of the week, which I ranked a 16 out of 100. To be honest, it wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. I wouldn't really say there's anything good about it, but I guess it's creative, And honestly, I just didn't hate it as much as I expected, and it gets the 1 star, 16 out of 100. Do I want to watch this ever again? No, not overly, but I do got to watch the second one, which it's not on streaming services, I don't believe, so not sure if I will watch that one, but nonetheless. Slay. Let's move on to Zombie Town, which I ranked a 28 out of 100. Truthfully, the only reason I really watched this movie was to say that I could add another movie to my R.L. Stein list on Letterboxd, which, yeah, this movie's not good either. Ranked it a 28 out of 100. No. Let's move on to Earwig and the Witch, which is not great either. I'm ranked at a 41 out of 100. Yeah, again, it's also not a great movie. Goro Miyazaki, a lot of people doesn't really like his movies. I'm kind of like up and down with them. I really like Tales from Earthsea. I like From Up on Poppy Hill, but this is really bad compared to the other two, in my opinion. A lot of people don't like Tales of Earthsea, though, so yeah, I don't know. Overall, it's fine. I ranked it a 41 out of 100. I wouldn't say it's fine, but anyways, let's move on to kind of one of the themes of the week and last week, which was the Dirty Harry franchise, which I did not get to finish last week. I did finish this week, and Sudden Impact was my least favorite of the 3 that I watched this week, which I ranked a 58 out of 100. Thought it was decent. It's, yeah, I love that backdrop. Definitely my favorite part of the movie. And yeah, it's a decent watch. Let's move on to The Deadpool, which was kind of interesting, an insane cast, and I think the youngest I've seen Jim Carrey and Liam Neeson in a film, so that was really surprising when I first seen them both, and I'm like, what the hell? But yeah, it's okay as well. I ranked it a 60 out of 100. I think it's decent. Yeah, it's decent. Let's move on to Pacific Rim Uprising, which for the first time in my life I watched Pacific Rim this week, which we'll talk about shortly. And I also watched Uprising, also for the first time, which I ranked a 61 out of 100. It seems like a lot of people don't like this movie. I thought this movie was decent. I don't think it's a bad movie. I wish there's more kaijus. And the Charlie Day stuff is just kind of meh. But, I would like to rewatch both of these movies because maybe my opinion will change on this one for the worse. Maybe my opinion on Pacific Rim will change for the better. But yeah, 61 out of 100. It's fine. Let's move on to The Phoenician Scheme, which is probably one of Wes Anderson's most popular films now, maybe. Anyways, ranked this a 62 out of 100. Thought it was decent. Some enjoyable moments, of course. I really need to finish going through Wes Anderson's filmography because I actually haven't done that. I don't believe I've seen Isle of Dogs, The French Dispatch, and I think there's another one that I'm missing as well, but I've seen most of the rest. But yeah, this is a decent movie as well. 62 out of 100. Great cast as always, of course. All right, let's move on to perhaps the newest on the list, which is Frankenstein, directed by Guillermo del Toro, which I rate at 65 out of 100. It's okay. If there wasn't so much passion of Guillermo del Toro in this, I don't think I'd like it as much as I did, even though I didn't love it. I think it's a decent movie. There's some really amazing set designs. There's some really amazing costume designs throughout this entire film, like all of his films, and that I do enjoy. But overall, I just don't really care for this movie that much. I don't know if I'm really a fan of Frankenstein either, to be honest. I'm not really sure about that. I enjoyed the original Frankenstein and original Bride of Frankenstein, but I'm not sure if I love them. And this iteration, it's super Guillermo del Toro, which is fine. You know, that's his style, but it's okay. I really enjoyed the monsters part of the film more than Victor's part of the film, but yeah, it's decent. 65 out of 100. Let's move on to The Enforcer, which I ranked a 65 out of 100 as well. This movie was really funny. That's really all that I remembered about this movie after watching it. It was just that it was really funny and I was laughing a lot. And it's just Clint Eastwood, really. His one-liners throughout all of this franchise are pretty awesome. And this one's definitely no different. I really enjoyed it. Ranked it a 65 out of 100 as well. And let's kind of go a big jump up to Pacific Rim, which I ranked a 78 out of 100. This is a pretty fun movie. I didn't love it, especially not as much as I expected. I figured this would kind of be up my alley, especially, you know, giant kaijus fighting giant robots. You know, I thought that'd be kind of fun, which it is, don't get me wrong. I just think I was a little disappointed because probably the first, like, 20-ish minutes, I was really enjoying this movie, and then a lot of the rest of the movie I just felt like I was watching like a mindless action film, and it definitely didn't really feel like a Guillermo del Toro film either, which was kind of surprising, which I think is a good thing in my opinion, because this is a 78 out of 100 and it's my second favorite of his films. So yeah, this one I would definitely like to rewatch more than Uprising, but I'd like to rewatch both, like I mentioned, but specifically Pacific Rim, because I do think I would like this more on a rewatch. So, yeah, ranked to 78 out of 100. Well, let's move on to Love Hard, which I watched with Mel, and Mel and I watched 2 rom-coms this week, which I really enjoyed both of them. I think I'm in just such a loving mood right now, and perhaps that made me enjoy this even more. I'm not really sure. But nonetheless, I really enjoy this movie, and it seems like a lot of people don't, which kind of sucks. But hey, I enjoy this, and 85 out of 100. I thought it was a great movie. I had a great time with it, and yeah, I mean, this is an enjoyable movie. I told Mel I want to watch more Christmas movies this year because I haven't really watched many Christmas movies over the past couple of years of doing this series and just Letterboxd in general. I don't really have many Christmas movies ranked. I had a lot more last year, so you know, this is something I wanted to do this year. Rank this an 85 out of 100, and I had a great time with it. Let's move on to the actual newest film on the list, because it didn't have a limited theatrical release and then released to streaming services like Frankenstein. This is the newest on the list, and it's Predator Badlands, which has floored me. It's amazing. It's so good. I love what Dan Trachtenberg has done with the Predator franchise, because it's absolutely revitalized what I thought was a pretty poor franchise in general, kind of like a one-hit wonder franchise with the first Predator. And I don't even think that's a great movie. I think it's a good movie, but like the last 3 movies that Trachtenberg has made, especially his live action with Prey and Predator Badlands, both of those movies are amazing, and I love them both very, very much. I really want to rewatch this. I'd like to rewatch it in IMAX as well. I think that'd be really fun. And yeah, I mean, I did see it in IMAX, which I enjoyed, but rewatching it would probably be even better. So, ranked at a 90 out of 100, really, really enjoyed this. And let's move on to Prey, which I ranked a 92 out of 100. This is a great movie as well. Honestly, I think the only thing holding this movie back for me personally is the amount of animal harm that is in this movie, just because I'm a bitch when it comes to that. I don't want to see that. I don't like seeing that. And I've always hated when that's incorporated into film and TV. So, that kind of sucks, but I guess that's kind of the point of Predator. But, yeah, it on an alien planet, it's different. So, nonetheless, I love Prey. I always have. This is still my favorite of the franchise, of the Predator franchise. So, yeah, 92 out of 100. And let's move on to another new release, which is Regretting You, which I got to see with Mel, and we went on a double date with Brandon and Phoebe, which was nice. And I really, really enjoyed this movie. I ranked it a 93 out of 100, which I know you're probably thinking I'm absolutely high, which is possible. But yeah, this movie's absolutely awesome. I loved this movie very, very much. And this is my first experience with Colleen Hoover, and I know a lot of people don't like Colleen Hoover, which is probably fair. I don't know. I don't read any of their book or any of her books, and I haven't watched It Ends With Us, which Mel has told me this is like night and day. It's so much better than It Ends With Us, which is not surprising. But yeah, I really love this cast. I think this is a great movie, and honestly, I don't feel like many rom-coms. I mentioned this to Mel. I don't feel like many rom-coms create genuine characters or real characters, where I feel like these characters are they just feel more real. Don't get me wrong, there's still some crazy rom-com things that happen in this film, the ending obviously, but I really enjoyed this movie. And I think it's really amazing. It's actually in my top 5 of the year. I think Badlands is pretty close to it, but not quite. I think it's top 8, but yeah, nonetheless, I really love this movie. So please read my review as well. I think it might clear things up a little bit. But yeah, let's move on to my favorite watch of the week, which was The GOAT, The Batman. I wanted to watch this on Halloween. Mel said she wanted to watch it with me, and then come Halloween, she didn't want to watch it, and I just haven't really had a chance to actually sit down and watch it until this week. So watched it this week. It's still peak. Added to the 10 watch club on Letterboxd as well, alongside both Spider-Verse movies, so that's cool. But yeah, thank you guys all so much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.